Coach Kim Anderson said he's nervous. He's going to try to ease him in quickly here today. Not in the starting lineup. Missouri in the home white and Eastern Illinois in their road blue. Anthony Jordan, Will Howard, Owen Short, our officiating crew here today that somehow made it here to Columbia. The roads were treacherous on Interstate 70 all day yesterday.
This Panther team will move the basketball. They will shoot when opportune. Not a big squad, but they can fill it up from the outside. Maybe better from the outside than they are the inside.
Really good three-point shooting team, among the best in the OVC. Down to 7 on the shot clock. And with 4, Dama air ball, and it's chased down by Puryear.
The strength of this Missouri team has been on the defensive end. They have struggled on the offensive side shooting the basketball. Defensively, they've been solid. Let's see if they can get off to a good start this afternoon offensively.
And that's where Anderson hopes that Barnett can really help him knock down some perimeter shots and maybe give him a little inside game, too.
Yeah, no doubt. He is talented, and he can do a lot of things.
Home white and Eastern Illinois in their road blue. Anthony Jordan, Will Howard, Owen Short, our officiating crew here today that somehow made it here to Columbia. The roads were treacherous on Interstate 70 all day yesterday.
This Panther team will move the basketball. They will shoot when opportune. Not a big squad, but they can fill it up from the outside. Maybe better from the outside than they are the inside.
Really good three-point shooting team, among the best in the OVC. Down to 7 on the shot clock. And with 4, Dama air ball, and it's chased down by Puryear.
The strength of this Missouri team has been on the defensive end. They have struggled on the offensive side shooting the basketball. Defensively, they've been solid. Let's see if they can get off to a good start this afternoon offensively.
And that's where Anderson hopes that Barnett can really help him knock down some perimeter shots and maybe give him a little inside game, too.
Yeah, no doubt. He is talented, and he can do a lot of things. He will add, and he will help his teammates because he'll be the focus from most other teams.
Frankie Hughes had his shot blocked from behind by Montell Goodwin, so 6 on the shot clock for the Tigers.
Jay Spoonhour's teams will always play tough defensively. They're physical, they're tough. Can they stay in front of this active Missouri team?
Local favorite here, Jay Spoonhour. Down to 4 on the shot clock. Phillips with 2 on the clock. Van Leer beats the horn, and that's going to be a shot clock violation. So 2 air balls to start this ball game.
And twice Phillips got caught picking up his dribble. Once he picked it up, they locked him up, and they shut off all his avenues for a pass. Got to keep the dribble.
5th season with the Panthers, 59 and 76. Of course, was also a head coach at Moberly Area Community College, 41 miles from here, and assistant coach here under Quinn Snyder.
Yeah, and son of legendary, the late Charlie Spoonhour, who was great at Southwest Missouri State and then at St. Louis University before going to Las Vegas to coach UNLV. Jay is a favorite in this state, a great kid, a great coach.
Well, that's the first shot that we've had that hit iron, as Demetrius McReynolds was fouled on the shot. And there is Kim Anderson in his 3rd season, 24 and 48 his record.
Listening to his press conferences this week, he is looking for consistency, especially on the offensive end. He's not happy with sometimes a shot selection from his group. They're shooting a low percentage from the field, and he's kind of equated to say, hey, we're not taking good shots, so there's no way we're going to make enough of those.
Anderson and his staff recently sat down with every player on this team and went through every shot that they have taken so far this season, because the shot selection has been poor. McReynolds, their leading scorer, gives Eastern Illinois a 2-0 lead. And I say that McReynolds, their leading scorer, he's at 13.9, but they've got like 4 or 5 players bunched up between 10 and 13 points.
Yeah, 4 guys in double figures and 1 just outside, so they'll spread the wealth.
Puryear can't hold on to the ball. Battle for it. Eastern Illinois down on the deck, gets tied up. It'll be the Tigers' ball. Oh, a timeout called by Eastern Illinois before the tie-up. So the Panthers come in here at 6 and 4. 2 and 3 on the road. There's the balanced scoring that we were talking about. And little Cornell Johnston out of St. Louis, averaging 12 a game. And number 3 in the OVC in assists per game is the guy that really concerns Kim Anderson.
Well, at 5'7", he can be a pest defensively. We've seen him already bother Phillips. But his speed and quickness, he can push the basketball, and then he delivers. So, talking to Coach Spoonhour before the game, Jay simply said what concerns him most about Missouri is the physicality when they play teams in the SEC or into the Power 5 league.
Number 3 in the OVC in assists per game, number 2 in assist to turnover ratio, number 10 in steals per game, number 5 in minutes per game. and he's also number 8 in three-point percentage and number 5 in three-pointers made per game. Don't let the 5'7" size fool you. The kid can play.
Missouri predominantly man-to-man defensive team. They're challenge shooters. They rebound well. Good bucket.
Ray Crossland, who's also out of St. Louis, played at Logan College, gives Eastern Illinois a 4-0 lead. 4 players from the St. Louis area, 4 players from the Kansas City area playing for Eastern Illinois as they force the turnover and a foul called on Van Leer in the backcourt.
Well, already what you've seen is Cornell Johnston, the young man we talked about at 5'7", is denying Phillips a basketball, won't let him bring it up. So that time Phillips didn't get it. It went to Van Leer. Van Leer got an offensive foul.
The timeout called by Kim Anderson, who is letting the officials have it.
And I think they're going to check if it was an elbow crossface. Let's see if there was contact.
Anthony Jordan at the table, along with Will Howard.
Well, what looked like could have been a tough angle for us. It would have been on the first elbow swinging across.
Wow. Again, hard to tell from that angle coming from the baseline. Continue to check it out, but Kim Anderson highly agitated, obviously, with his team's performance in the first 2 minutes.
Well, depending on how officials want to say it, by the reaction, it would look like he got hit, but you can't tell he got hit.
Yeah.
I mean, unless there's a different angle that they really see it. You can go by the reaction and say, it looks like. Let's see on this one.
Again, it appears by the reaction of McReynolds that he got hit, but you can't really see the contact per se. Anthony Jordan, our lead official there, talking it over with Will Howard and Owen Short. And we'll get their decision here shortly. Tigers at 5-4 on the season. They haven't played since their 79-60 loss to Arizona in this building last Saturday.
Well, trying to decide. I mean, this is a tough one.
Again, it appears that his left elbow did make contact with the nose of McReynolds. Fourth all-time meeting between these two teams. First time they have played since 2005. Back then, in 2005, Spoonhour was on Quinn Snyder's staff.
Got an explanation?
Yep.
They're going to rescind the offensive call. It was a basketball play. And Missouri will retain the basketball. 29 seconds on the shot clock.
So Kim Anderson won the argument that time.
He did.
You don't see that very often.
Again, the key, and Kim Anderson looked like he was into Phillips's face a little bit, is that he's got to get the ball and bring it.
So Phillips brings the ball up the floor.
Eastern Illinois has overplayed a few of the passing lanes and not allowing Missouri to get set or run their offensive plays.
Less than 10 on the shot clock. Hughes for three. Frankie Hughes, their leading scorer at 13-6 a game, but after scoring 23 and 24 in his first 2 collegiate games, things have been much tougher for him.
He has struggled offensively shooting, but I still think he's got to continue to take shots. He's one of the better shooters on this Missouri team. He's skilled with the basketball, as you can see.
A traveling call on Phillips. And Frankie Hughes, the freshman, tells Phillips to calm down.
And only 27% beyond the three-point line. As you mentioned, Matt, he started quickly the first 2 ball games. And it's been up and down like most freshmen, but he leads his team in scoring. I would hate to see him to be bashful to taking shots, especially for a team that struggles offensively.
Eastern Illinois turns it over on the offensive end. Turnover by Crossland. Early lead for the Panthers. They show full court pressure, now back out of it as they run down the floor. They're number 9 in the country in turnovers forced, so they're very good at that, over 18 a game.
And you can tell they've got length. Their big guys are thin, but they're long enough to get into the big bodies of Missouri.
Woods in the paint and one. Russell Woods muscles it up there, goes to the line, a chance to try to give Missouri a 2-point lead.
6'8", 240, strong enough around the rim just to get the ball up on the rim. Soft touch, goes to the free throw line where he's a 61% free throw shooter.
Averaging 7.5 points, just under 6 rebounds per game. In his senior season, having his best year. He's out of Chicago, and a 2-point lead for Missouri. And one of the reasons why this Missouri team's averaging about 5 rebounds more per game than they did a year ago, and 3 offensive rebounds more per game.
Keep an eye on Hughes, on McReynolds right out front. McReynolds a good scorer. Hughes will stay close to him.
Goodwin. McReynolds tried to trap it, couldn't. Missouri comes up with it. Hughes, transition 3 off back iron. And Dama, who averages nearly 10 boards a game, grabs his first.
I would like to see Hughes be more aggressive with his dribble. And because of his athletic ability to attack, maybe not just be a catch and shoot player, because that's probably not his strength. Attack and see if he can score at the rim.
Reaching foul called on Terrence Phillips as we go to break. 6-0 run for Missouri. They lead by 2 at our first timeout. Anderson waiting a little bit longer to get his much anticipated Texas Longhorns mid-year transfer into the ballgame.
Panthers had good movement. They set good screens. This time an illegal pick, but guys are coming hard off for shots. Missouri doing an outstanding job trailing all of their shooters. There's no space to be shot at.
Musa Dama called for the foul, and there is Jordan Barnett making his debut in a Missouri Tigers uniform. Last time he played in this building, he led Christian Brothers College High School to the 2014 state championship. He only scored 43 points and had 20 rebounds in that game.
Highly skilled kid, arguably maybe the best talent on this team. Will be a tad bit nervous, but he has got a big upside to him.
Van Leer the miss, and McReynolds the rebound. Ahead it goes to Crossland. He got fouled by Puryear.
Always defensive balance, and what I mean by that is offensively, if a guard shoots the ball in a corner, there's got to be a weak side guard sprinting back defensively. Missouri didn't get back. The big guys are sprinting to try to make that play. Not back quickly enough. Puryear picks up the foul.
Well, you know, like it was once said, basketball is like a box of chocolates. The game we worked on Tuesday night at the first break, we had 35 total points. We've got 10 here today.
Well, both of these teams, Eastern Illinois scores 74 a game. They shoot it well beyond the three-point line. They struggle more in 2 category because they're about 42% as a field goal shooting team. But they will run. They'll get some shots. And I would think because of that tempo that Coach Spoonhour likes, that could force Missouri into a little more up, pick up their tempo in this on their home court, and maybe some easier baskets.
1 basket for the Panthers and 4 free throws. We're tied at 6.
Good pass.
Woods the finish. Phillips the assist, and Woods with the finish. Phillips averaging 4.3 assists per game, which is 7th at the conference. Crossland at the elbow. Rebound is battled for and won by the Panthers. Muldoon got it to Goodwin. Rainbow 3. Rebound controlled by Barnett. So his first entry into the scorebook is a rebound. Woods. Poor shot. Dama the rebound.
Now you can see the pace, though, that really Eastern Illinois wants to play.
Crossland nearly fumbled it away. Teason comes up with it behind the line. Off the iron. Van Leer the rebound. Ahead to Woods. Fouled by Dama. Dama picks up his second personal. That could be problematic for them today as their big is getting in foul trouble.
Yeah, take a look at this solid screen by Woods, and as he rolls, Phillips puts it right on the money. And Phillips is good at running this team. He's got to stay on the floor. He's had a tendency this season, in his sophomore season, to pick up early fouls, and that's kind of odd and rare for point guards to get in foul trouble. There's reaching and there's some silly fouls, and with him on the bench, they seem to struggle in their offensive sets.
Woods has scored 6 of their first 9 points. Had a double-double earlier this month, 15 points and 10 boards in the Tigers' 81-55 win against Miami of Ohio. Diallo the rebound. Boubacar Diallo had checked in for Dama after he picked up his second personal. Goodwin drives, had it knocked away, and a foul's called on Woods. Woods picks up his first personal foul, and that'll be the 4th team foul on the Tigers. Tonight on SEC Network, we'll have another college basketball doubleheader coming up at 6 Eastern. It's Texas Southern and LSU from the Pete Maravich Assembly Center, where we were just on Tuesday night. And then when that one's over, we go to Nashville for Chattanooga and Vanderbilt. Both streaming live on the ESPN app and watch ESPN.
Yeah, Blakeney had a great game when we were down there in the LSU win over North Carolina Central. He's a terrific scorer. And then if you think about Vanderbilt, you always talk about Fisher Davis and the guys that can shoot the basketball for the Commodores.
Riley LaChance shooting over 60% on his three-pointers, just like John Sunvold.
Well, you know, what's fun about that is Riley had such a good freshman year, and then last year he played a lot of minutes, but he just couldn't find that shot. So it looks like he's back.
Barnett, his first shot, and the rebound, Diallo.
Here's what you like about Barnett. He gives them something Missouri doesn't have. It's just natural. Highly skilled player when he came out of high school from St. Louis.
McReynolds called for traveling.
And Barnett didn't get a lot of minutes his freshman season under Rick Barnes at Texas, and then when Shaka Smart came in, only played 4 games, a few minutes. The question always, even in high school a little bit, was does the motor run high enough? Is he aggressive enough? But the talent is there.
ESPN had him rated as the number 23 small forward in the nation when he chose Texas over Purdue, Butler, Florida, and others. He averaged close to 21 a game and 8 rebounds per game his senior year with Christian Brothers. Geist in the ball game for the first time for the Tigers.
What the Panthers do a great job of, Matt, is they put so much pressure on the ball, it's hard to find guys when they're open.
Geist with the 3. It's his 6th of the season. Missouri leads by 4. Away from the dribble. Someone lost a shoe. Demetrius McReynolds.
McReynolds, their leading scorer, you mentioned, Matt, nearly 14 a game. He has yet to take a shot. They have covered him up, guarded him closely.
Well, ever since he scored 25 in their overtime loss against Bradley, he's been in a bit of a scoring slump, held to single digits 2 of the last 3 games. Panthers won both of them, however. Diallo. Jump hook. Rebound Barnett, his second. Smith, double team, now working singularly against Diallo, gives it up. Sets a screen for Van Leer, who pops it.
Solid screen, Van Leer, who's kind of trying to find that shooting stroke. He's a good-looking shooter. He just hasn't made a high percentage of shots. That was a good release.
He's 34% this season, which isn't great, but it's tops on this Missouri team. McReynolds takes the 3 off the back iron. Diallo went up high to get the rebound. In a tie-up, jump ball, and it will be the Tigers' ball when we get back.
Going, it's easier for his other teammates to get going and more open shots.
Tigers have outscored the Panthers 8-4 since Barnett checked into the game. And they lead by 6 here in wintry Columbia, Missouri. And a foul's going to be called on Johnston.
You can see what Johnston does, though, Matt, defensively. He sets the tone. He's really not allowed Mizzou to get any offensive sets going. Whether it was Phillips and now Geis, they spend a lot of time pounding the basketball out front just to get set. Eastern Illinois almost dares you to beat them man-to-man off the dribble. They get so Clay get chest to chest.
Lob back door for Barnett. Couldn't hold on to it. Ahead it comes to Johnston. Johnston working against Geis. Will take a three and miss it. Long rebound ends up in the hands of Goodwin. He takes the three and misses it. They're now 1 for 11. Crossland makes them 1 for 12. And a foul called on Diallo.
Yeah, maybe the more focal point on the offensive end. We talked about Barnett. Keep moving, keep moving. They set a back screen. Lob was almost there. The pass probably a little underthrown. Got a guy like that athletic and put it way up there so the defense has no chance.
Panthers have started the game 1 for 12 from the floor and 0 for 6 on their threes. They hit close to 39% of their threes, which is second best in the OVC. But not so far today. Walton in the ball game on the dribble for the first time today. None of the starters in the game right now. Walton kicked to Geis, down to 7 on the shot clock. And Geis with his 5th point.
Yeah, smart play by Geis. He's got a few inches over Johnson, so get him in an area where you just jump over the top.
1 bucket and 6 free throws for the Panthers here in the first 9+ minutes. Intercepted by Geis, ends up in Walton's hands, and Walton lays it in. 10-point lead for the Tigers.
And what K.J. Walton does best is what you just saw him do. He attacks. Off the dribble, attacks the rim.
9-0 run here from Missouri. You got to wonder, John, just, Eastern Illinois, they were scheduled to practice here last night. They didn't get to town until after midnight. They never got in the gym. They didn't do a shoot-around today. There was a women's basketball game earlier, so they never got on the floor until an hour and a half before this game.
Well, think of sitting on a bus 7 hours without moving, right? Just sat on I-70.
Yeah, that's their first basket in 8 minutes as McReynolds finally knocks one down in the corner. They did have a funny story today. Barnett misses, rebound Muldoon. They were sitting on the bus. They're on I-70, not moving, and the kids finally convinced Coach Spoonhour to let them hop off the bus and grab some tacos. So they ordered 40 tacos.
Jump over the fence. Yeah, jump over the fence. Through the ditch, over the fence.
There's a Mexican restaurant sitting right there, and they're like, man, we're hungry. So
Coach Spoonhour said, I never thought of doing that, but we just sat, and the kids did it. He said they got back on the bus. He said we watched a number of movies, and he was surprised by how many 90s movies these kids like.
Yeah. 8-point lead for Missouri. You see the Charleston, Illinois, they're home. That's about 4.5 hours from here. Yesterday it took him 12 hours. McReynolds with his second basket.
Nice move by McReynolds. Good step back. Willie Jackson on the floor, also a driver penetrator of the basketball. Like he's a slasher.
And a foul is going to be called on Crossland. Sunday at 3 Eastern, a marquee women's basketball matchup between Mercedes Russell, Diamond DeShields, and the Lady Vols and Tara Vanderveer's 10th ranked Stanford Cardinal in Knoxville, right here on SEC Network. Also streaming live on ESPN app and watch ESPN.
I don't think Coach Vanderveer ever has a team that's probably not top 10 ranked year in, year out. Tough game for the Lady Vols tomorrow.
No doubt about it. 6-point lead, Missouri. McReynolds has hit 3 straight baskets. Reed Nico in the ball game for Missouri. He's been battling an ankle sprain. Puryear the miss, and Nico fresh to the game and gets a basket.
Well, they've missed his size. He is still gimpy, as you can tell on that ankle as he jogged back, but they've missed his size at 6'10" and the length.
His first game since November 26 against Northwestern State. McReynolds backing up, shot an air ball, breaks a string of 3 consecutive baskets by him, and jump ball is going to be called, and the possession arrow favors the Panthers.
Solid defense by Hughes that time with McReynolds. He's been matched up, and McReynolds using his seniority a little bit. As a senior, understands how to get his shot with his fadeaways, his step backs.
Tison misses the three. Nico the rebound. Geist had it knocked away from behind by Johnston. Johnston picks up his second personal foul. 16 fouls now on the Panthers. Johnston will go back to the bench. No offense from Johnston yet, and just 2 personal fouls on his line score to go along with his 3 misses from the floor. He'd come in, hit 12 of his last 18 three-point shots.
Matchup zone from underneath out of bounds, almost like a 1-3-1. They will chase, especially the shooters. Van Leer out top.
Puryear nearly fumbles away. Van Leer on the drive. Kick to the corner, and Phillips. Diallo over the back. Nico is going to be called for the foul.
Good play by Van Leer to get it inside that zone, and then the kick out. Phillips has really struggled last 3 ball games. 3 of 17 from the field, 2 of 11 beyond the 3-point line. He's really struggled trying to find his shot.
7th team foul on Missouri, so that puts Diallo at the foul line for the start of the bonus. He's 0 for 1 at the foul line for the season. He's out of Ivory Coast. He's one of 3 players playing basketball in this country this year from that country. Banked in the free throw. He's a sophomore out of St. Louis Christian Academy. Boubacar Diallo, just 5 points on the season, and the rebound controlled by Puryear.
Eastern Illinois squad has good quickness, pretty good length, good offensive talent. They are picked to be in the upper half of the Ohio Valley Conference. Second pick, second for the West Side. And the way they've played and the way they've stuck in is really by guys like Demetrius McReynolds. Production has not been high on the offensive end for this team. They've been inconsistent. They'll search for points wherever they can get it.
His pass was deflected in the hands of Tison. Goodwin's going to take it all the way. Had his shot blocked by Nico. Nico comes away with it.
Solid minutes for Nico early.
Phillips, pass kicked, comes away.
Seemed like a kick ball.
Yeah, it did. Goodwin has it, no whistle. And a foul called on Eastern Illinois. It's going to be on Crossland. He picks up his second personal, and that's the 7th team foul on the Panthers. Nico comes out, and you mentioned solid minutes for him. They didn't even know if he would play today. They were hopeful.
Seemed quite gimpy still on that ankle, but good minutes, good production, gives another guy a few minutes of rest to get back in.
5-point lead for the Tigers. 7 minutes to play, first half. Woods is their leading scorer so far. And illegal screen. This is on Van Leer.
Russell Woods setting the screen, moving screen. It's a call that officials look for a lot this season.
Well, we just had back-to-back calls on it. Woods picks up his second personal. He comes out. Barnett comes back in. Barnett making his debut, the mid-year transfer from Texas, former St. Louis High School star. He's 0 for 2, both three-point attempts, has a couple of rebounds. Goodwin nestles it in. Panthers have cut it to 3. Trailed by as much as 10 here in the first half. Puryear still has yet to score today. McReynolds, chance for the Panthers to cut it to 1 or tie it up here.
Yeah, we were in LSU, Matt, the other night, and Johnny Jones worried about the layoff his guys had, and now they had 2 weeks, which is the most unusual thing I've probably seen from a scheduling standpoint. But they have 2 weeks. This Missouri team, it's been a week of finals, and they've not been sharp. And the coaches, as coaches do, keep kind of barking out at them, especially on the offensive end.
And one for Puryear.
Good play by Phillips again to get in the lane and then drop it off to Puryear.
First basket for him, another assist for Phillips. That gives him 3.
Puryear's got the strength and the ability to take contact and to finish those plays. Left-handed kid. Had a terrific season last year on the all-freshman team in the SEC.
He's 10th in the conference in rebounding, averaging about a point more than he did a year ago when he made that all-freshman team.
Can do a little bit of everything offensively. Can shoot it well enough outside, can put it on the floor.
Panthers still looking for their first three-point shot. Muldoon gets it back to McReynolds, and he got stripped. Foul's going to be called on Frankie Hughes. And that will put McReynolds at the line. Panthers are 5 of 20 from the floor, 0 of 8 on their threes, but 7 of 8 on their free throws. McReynolds can fill it up. 6 career 20-point games, most recently that Bradley game we were talking about. Also had a 21-point performance against Western Illinois, a team that Eastern Illinois has already beaten twice this year, home and home. .76% free throw shooter.
Yeah, we talked to Coach Spoonhauer before the game, and he talked. He likes this team going into the Ohio Valley. Obviously, the team to beat is Belmont. Rick Bird's team is outstanding. Evan Brad's is a player of the year a year ago, probably player of the year this year. That is a fantastic ball club.
But at 6-4, they're one of the few teams in the OVC with a winning non-conference record right now. Barnett in trouble, lost it. Muldoon knocked it away.
Walton's guarding McReynolds. Better keep a hand up. Reynolds has a quick trigger.
For the tie. In and out. Rebound. That's inside the arc. McReynolds the miss, and Puryear the rebound. Head to Walton, and he got fouled on the drive. Marshawn Blackman is called for the foul. That puts K.J. Walton at the line for 2. Walton averaging 7 a game and a 64.5% free throw shooter.
Kid Anderson likes K.J. Walton off the bench because of his energy. Much like a sixth man kind of guy that you get labeled that when you come in, you're looking to score, make something happen. Been able to do that in quite a few ball games.
It'll be interesting how the addition of Barnett to the lineup and the rotation impacts a player like Walton's minutes.
Yeah, I think, the coaches have to find that out. And to find out, what minutes Barnett needs.
And where they're going to play him. They're, play him at the 4, going to play him at the 3.
Yeah.
Muldoon, they don't know any of that yet. Muldoon hits the runner, and Eastern Illinois back within 3. Drive by Walton, and muscles it up. Put back by Puryear.
And I think teammates understand how Walton plays. They know he's going to attack, so you really just kind of follow him to the rim. Good follow-up by Puryear.
5-point lead for the Tigers. Foul's going to be called on Phillips. And that's going to put Cook at the line. So Logan Cook, he's out of the Kansas City area. Played at Mill Valley High School in Shawnee, where they won football and basketball state championships his senior year. Muldoon's going to be at the line. Pardon me, I thought it was Cook that was fouled on the play. Muldoon instead.
Well, this is the frustrating part for Phillips or coaching staff. The point guard, he picked up his second foul. He'll come out of this first half. 4 minutes. left in the half, but he has had a tendency to pick up fouls and to be sitting on the side when they need him probably playing.
Eastern Illinois, a 72% free throw shooting team this season, which is third in the OVC, 10 for 11 today. Phillips comes out of the ball game after picking up 3 personal fouls now. So Geist back in the game and Phillips on the bench likely until the second half.
Good pass.
Backdoor cut, Walton layup. Assist for Barnett. That's the first of his Tigers career right there.
Yeah, beautiful pass, good vision. Good cut by Walton.
You know, that's one of the things that Terrence Phillips told reporters this week as they were talking about the debut of Barnett. They said, you're really going to be surprised by his great passing ability.
Well, that was terrific there. And again, getting the feel, I think this first half and the second half we'll see. You want him to see maybe more in attack mode on the offensive end. And if he can do those things like pass the basketball the way he does, that just creates so many opportunities.
Yeah, so far, John, it's all been perimeter stuff.
Yeah, he can use his size, especially in this game, to get some buckets inside.
6-point lead for the Tigers, under 4 minutes to play in the first half, and a turnover over on the sideline. Missouri shooting 50% from the floor. 21 of their 29 points have come with Jordan Barnett on the floor, although he is yet to score. Does have 1 assist.
So 9 minutes on the floor, and they've got 21 of their 29 points as he's on the floor. Says a little bit about what he brings on that offensive end.
Blackman put it in. First basket for Blackman. He's been battling an ankle foot injury over the last 3 games. He played only 3 minutes over the last 3 games with that injury. Barnett 0 for 3, and all 3 shots have been 3-point attempts. Tisson still 0 for behind the line. 0 for 11 now for the Panthers on their 3-point shot.
And a lot of good looks.
Kuligowski with the rebound. They'll take another 3 and miss another. 0 for 13. Well, if you're a team that shoots close to 39% on your threes and you start 0 for 13, at some point, John, they're going to come in bunches, right?
Well,
the numbers got to even out.
That's what you think, and Coach Spoonhauer is smiling at his bench, and the bench kind of smiling because he wants them to keep doing what they're doing. They're getting open shots, they're getting looks, they're attacking the offensive rebounds. I mean, it looked like he just said, hey, don't worry about it. Keep
Geist
shooting.
at the foul line. Geist with 5 points today.
And good minutes for Geist off the bench.
And Phillips, 3 personal fouls. They got to get good minutes from him. Tigers are 5 for 8 at the line. Panthers are 11 for 12. One of the reasons they're still hanging around here, despite the fact they're shooting less than 26% from the floor. So, John, you've been in this situation before, not where you had a bunch of misses, but a team that relies on the 3-point shot, and half of their attempts have been behind the line. 13 of their 27 field goal attempts have been behind the arc, even though they haven't hit any.
Well, the interesting part is they do have Missouri chasing, and Missouri's done a good job of getting to their shooters. And sometimes what happens is it opens up things like that. So you're focused defensively on that long shot, and there are avenues to attack.
Diallo with the rebound and putback. 9 offensive boards for the Panthers.
Big size mismatch inside, and Barnett didn't post. Had a chance to post
against McReynolds
and didn't post.
Turnover. If the Panthers can get their first 3 here, it'll be a tie game. Instead, McReynolds will drive, spin at the elbow, rim out. And saved by Muldoon. Goodwin back to McReynolds for the tie. Wow. Lid on the basket. 0 for 14 on their 3-point shots. But they're only down 3. So go figure. Nico has it stolen from Tisson. Tison got his man in the air, back to Goodwin for a tying three, and they finally got one, and the game's tied at 30. And a timeout called by Kim Anderson. So, yeah, you got to be smiling if you're Coach Spoonhour, because you haven't hit any threes, and you finally hit one after missing 14, and the game is tied at 30.
You've been on a bus, which seemed like for 24 hours, right? They were stuck on the freeway. They have come into this arena, and there's some excitement as the first three ball of the game and a relief from their bench. And Coach Spoon, they're all excited.
Well, and you know this is a big game for those kids. 4 of the players on the Eastern Illinois roster are from the St. Louis area.
Yep.
4 of them from Kansas City. And, of course, Missouri, if you don't know your geography here in the Show Me State, it's smack dab right in the middle of those 2 cities.
And Coach Spoon was at Moberly Junior College just 40 minutes up the road on Highway 63 here. And coached 2 years here under Quinn Snyder, so well known.
And he's one of those coaches, he comes back and everybody in the building greets him.
Yep. It was fun to see him.
Yeah, leaves behind smiles.
I want to make sure he had his cowboy boots on, which he did. And there's not many country western bars that he's not been in, that he's not up singing with the band. Okay. He's very good.
I was wondering where you're going with that.
Loves his country music.
Shot blocked by Mulder. Nico got the loose ball and hooked it in. A minute to play in the half.
The bench has been very productive for Kim Anderson this first half.
Reynolds gets a screen from Muldoon. Passes up the shot. Drives instead. Trapped out there. Muldoon on the baseline. And Van Leer the rebound.
The box out. Shot clock was about even with the game clock, but Walton thought he had to have it.
So Eastern Illinois can play for the final shot here. Down 2. 12 seconds to play in the half. Goodwin working against Geis with 5 on the clock. McReynolds jumps out with 2. That's a 2. Geis the rebound, and that's the end of the first half. And Geis, just for good measure, wouldn't have counted, hit the rim from 3.
Really never got in a stretch where they got on a roll because they were frustrated. I thought the Panthers did a good job defensively.
And still looking for our first points from Jordan Barnett, who's making his debut here today. Not on the floor to start the second half. And Puryear muscles it in. Puryear just his 3rd basket of the ball game, and Missouri leads by 4.
Solid play designed by Kim Anderson to start this second half. Easy bucket for Puryear.
Johnston hit the 3.
Sat out quite a bit of the first half with 2 personal fouls. Back in for the start the second.
Averages 12 a game. That's his first points of the game. Frankie Hughes. Rebound. Stolen away by Woods. Off back iron. Damo with the rebound. Gets it to Johnston, who speeds up the floor to the corner. Goodwin for the lead. Got it.
A little bit of idea what Eastern Illinois wants to do. Use the speed of the 5'7" Johnston, and other guys just spot up.
And John, what did we say in the first half? When you miss 13 consecutive threes and you shoot close to 40, they're going to eventually start falling for you.
Well, they push it, and they still shoot it. And when a coach finally smiles and you make one, you know as a player you're all in the comfort zone of keep letting it go.
They missed their first 13. They've hit 3 of their last 4 threes. They lead by 2.
Puryear picked up a personal foul, just simply trying to run to the block. He shoved one of the players out of the way. They whistled it.
Crossland battles against Puryear. Puryear knocked it away. A foul called on Crossland. So Crossland picks up his 3rd personal foul.
Might have been a good foul, because if he doesn't make the play, Woods has a streaking Hughes. So right there, boom. He could have hit Hughes. Might have been a 2-on-1 on the other end. So it ends up being a decent foul.
We'll send Muldoon to the scores table. He'll probably get Crossland, who has those 3 personals. Phillips working against Johnson. Now Phillips open, hit the 3. Just the 3rd three-pointer for the Tigers in this game. They're back on top by 1.
And a better and harder movement by Purrier with the ball. And when he put it down aggressively, that means the defense had to help off. Matt, if you run offense just to run it, by just going through the motions, it doesn't do anything. If you make hard cuts, hard plays, you get openings. And a terrific pass by Goodwin there. As he came off, he looked to make a play. Defense has to honor it. Drops it off to Crossland.
Crossland fouled on this play. You're right. Spectacular pass right there.
Well, you know what? Again, it's the hard cut. It's the hard movement. And at times, I've thought today Missouri's movements aren't as sharp and as crisp as his Eastern Illinois team. Now, the last possession it was. Purrier took it aggressively. One team put it on the floor. Double team, kick it out. Phillips makes a 3.
Crossland with the chance to put the Panthers back on top with a couple of free throws. Ties the game right there. Woods, who picked up his 3rd personal foul, has to come out and bring Barnett back in for him. So this will be interesting because Barnett's game has been pretty much just on the perimeter. Now he's replacing the guy that's the 5.
Yeah, again, Purrier can slide over
and play the 5.
Yeah, I'd say they're both going to be, 4 or 5 kind of guys. They're kind of 3-4 kind of guys. Really, what you say as a coach, I don't need you as a 5. I need you as a rebounder and play your game. It would be interesting. We didn't see Barnett at all score the ball around the rim. He didn't even attempt a shot. Everything was outside the 3 attempts in the first half were all 3.
Sets a screen for Phillips, gets it back. Thought about a 3, gives it up. Phillips saves it. Five on the shot clock. Van Leer on the baseline.
Nice backdoor cut by Van Leer. Really saved Hughes and picked up his dribble.
Tigers back on top by 1. 3 minutes into the second half. Dama puts it on the floor. Jump hook. Bounced out. Purrier outlet to Phillips.
Good pass.
Purrier gets it back for 3. McReynolds the rebound. Johnston brings it up. Nobody picked him up.
I do like Purrier's energy in this second half. And Missouri's got a good tempo they're playing now. Can they knock some shots in? Good pass.
Nice pass. Barnett will go to the line for a chance at his first free throw attempts. Dama picks up the foul. That's going to be number 3 on him.
That's what Phillips does well. He has the ability to get to the paint area, and when he does, simple drop-off pass. Barnett didn't get a chance to finish three-point play.
Still scoreless. Barnett 0 for 3 shooting, 0 for 1 at the foul line, a couple of rebounds in 12 minutes of action. His last game came on December 8th, 2015. Scored a career-high 12 points in 13 minutes in Texas versus UT San Antonio, and that's the first point for Barnett in his Tigers career. McReynolds, spin move, air ball. Johnston tried to save it, could not, and it'll be the Tigers' ball.
You saw the elevation by McReynolds on his jump shot. You almost want to force him right. He's a cross-face shooter, likes to shoot from the left side of his face. So it's easier for him probably to go left to get that shot.
He's 3 for 12, 0 for 5 on his threes. They try to go inside to Purrier. Got it batted away by Muldoon. He releases and gets the layup. Good job by Muldoon.
Degree of difficulty quite high on that shot. Looks like he was behind the backboard.
Second basket for Muldoon. Tied at 40 in the first 4 minutes of the second half. Van Leer for 3. Crossland the rebound. Goodwin. Eastern Illinois back on top.
And they have had a soft touch this second half. A few balls have hung on the rim and they've dropped in.
Yeah, they're 4 for 7 shooting in this half.
I'm sure Jay Spoonhour said we cannot shoot the ball worse. We're only down 2 at halftime.
Muldoon
This season with their young faces and mix it in with their veteran players. They do defend well, and I think they have a chance to be a terrific offensive team.
gone final. They win 77-74, so a big win for Mike Anderson and the Razorbacks. Of course, Kentucky and North Carolina getting ready to tip here in the next few minutes. Van Leer hits both free throws. We're tied at 42.
Little half-court pressure. You got to chase quickly because of the shooting ability of Eastern Illinois, even though they haven't shot the ball well. They've got enough guys that will shoot it and can make it.
Johnston the miss. Dama tried to tip it in over the back of Puryear. No whistle. Tigers come out running to Frankie Hughes in the front court. Lost the spin move, and Crossland ends up with it. T-Son,
wow.
NBA-style three-pointer right there. Phillips the rebound.
That's a green light there. Woo.
Puryear, mid-range, knocked it down. Missouri back on top of him. Puryear now with 8 in the game.
You know, Phillips and Puryear worked well together a year ago, and they still worked well together. They kind of know where each other's going to be. They've got a good feel for how each other play.
Still no Tigers to reach double figures in this game. Muldoon on the drive, and followed by the big guy from Africa, Musa Dama. Van Leer finds his spot. Rebound Puryear. He'll go up strong. Miss, and Muldoon the rebound for Eastern Illinois. .13 on the shot clock. Johnston now less than 10. Working against Phillips. Gets a screen from Dama. Gets it back to Dama with 4 on the clock. Muldoon on the baseline with 1 on the clock. Knocked it down. Panthers back up by 2 again.
How about the minutes from Patrick Muldoon?
Solid game from Muldoon. He has 8. Phillips the drive, and Muldoon called for the foul. And the Panthers leading by 2.
Well, this Panther team has been aggressive, and they've attacked Patrick Muldoon off the bench, who at least gets it to the rim, and so Deucer can follow it up. Dama can follow it up. Newcomer of the week a week ago in the OVC. But that's bench points. Guys coming in, being productive.
Last 4 games, Muldoon had been shooting 50% from the floor, 9 of 18, and he's 50% in this game. He's 3 for 6. Phillips with the free throw, cuts it back to 1. Just the 4th point of the ball game for Phillips, but he does have 7 assists. Tie game again. Goodwin got a screen, lobs it up there, and puts it in. Eastern Illinois, 7 of 13 from the floor here in the second half.
Goodwin, another double-figure game. That's 9 double-figure games out of the 11 he's played this season.
And Goodwin nearly came up with the steal, is called for the foul instead.
I think they got Phillips for the foul.
Yeah, you're right. Phillips was called for the foul, not Crossland. And Phillips going to come out of the ball game as he just picked up his 4th personal foul. Or was it his 3rd?
3rd personal, maybe.
It is his 3rd.
Also returning for Missouri, number 14, Reed Nico, and number 5, Mitchell Smith.
So once again, they're going to go to the scorers table here. Official review. John, do you know what they're looking at?
I do not, unless they're saying that Phillips grabbed the foot, but I don't.
Let's see.
But there's. Are they? But it's a foul. They called the foul.
Right.
Well, maybe they were trying to think that was there a kick involved, which there wasn't a kick.
Or are you going to say maybe a breakaway foul?
Well, I mean
that would be a stretch. I'm just guessing here.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm guessing here because we haven't.
To me, there was a foul. They got that.
Right. They got the foul called on Phillips, his third.
Maybe we'll get an explanation.
But just looking at it, did he? He grabbed his leg and held him up. Not that he was going to be getting up, but maybe he was going to get up and go off on a break. I mean, is that what they're talking about?
But he barely. I'm not sure he really had the leg. He grabbed towards the leg, hit the leg. That was the foul.
We'll wait for an explanation from Anthony Jordan and his crew here in a moment. 48-46, Eastern Illinois leading Missouri. Tigers at 5-4, Panthers at 6-4. Tigers' first game in a week since they lost by 19 against Arizona, had the exam break, and today the debut of Jordan Barnett, their mid-year transfer. Although he has not made a big impact statistically, Barnett has scored only 1 point and missed his three-point attempts in this game. Yeah, they're going to call what, a flagrant one on the breakaway? Yeah, it was a breakaway foul.
One. So he grabbed his leg. Would have been a breakaway. Flagrant one foul.
There you go.
2 free throws and possession.
Yeah, see, he grabs his leg to keep him from getting up and making a break for it. Now, I don't know whether he would or not, but that was the call. He clearly grabbed his leg, and it kept Crossland from being able to advance after the ball and maybe pick up a fast break. So they get the free throws, and they get possession. And a 4-point lead. Johnston for a 7-point lead. Bangs it home. And Eastern Illinois on the road, having never beaten Missouri, leads by 7 with just over 12 to play.
Geist got his head turned, and Johnston made him pay.
And Geist takes the 3 off the back iron. Battle for the rebound, and here comes Eastern Illinois. Johnston's had the hot hand. Fumbled it away, and Nico beats him to it. Biggest guy on the floor ends up taking it from the smallest guy. Nico, high post.
And where does Missouri go to get a bucket? Walton very good off the dribble. Van Leer, shooter from the outside.
Walton weaves through the defense and put it in with his 9th point attempt.
These are important possessions for Missouri defensively. Can they get some activity and energy, get a couple stops?
Goodwin.
Because if you don't, the confidence of Eastern Illinois just keeps going through the roof.
Well, John, we said it in the first half. The missed shots would even out eventually. They're 9 for 15 shooting here in the second half, and 4 for 6 on their threes. Inside, Missouri trying to take advantage of their size advantage. First basket for Willie Jackson. Five-point lead for the Panthers. And thrown out of bounds, but touched by Missouri. We said that Eastern Illinois would not keep firing blanks on the three-point shot the entire day, and that has proven to be true here in the second half. Goodwin off a curl. Offensive rebound by Crossland.
Because of how aggressive Eastern Illinois makes their cuts and come off screens, tough to guard. Missouri's trying to go through screens. That's a foul right there by Walton. They're trying to go around. They can't get around in time.
Down to number 11, KJ Walton.
Second personal on Walton. And the fourth team foul on the Tigers.
And Matt, because of the quickness of Cornell Johnson out front, he is tough to keep from getting the ball where he wants to get it to on the offensive set.
Goodwin on the drive, goes back to Dama. Shot blocked by Nico.
Great hustle.
Willie Jackson, reverse layup.
You see the value of Nico coming in off the bench again. He had great minutes the first half. The block there, the easy bucket for Jackson on the other end.
Yeah, they didn't know if he was going to play today. They ought to be happy that he did.
Solid minutes, and most big guys don't recover like this one. And when you do, it leads to fast breaks in Missouri. Trying to get the home crowd in it, trying to get back into this ball game.
Redskins at 8:15 Monday on ESPN.
Here's our offer. My client gets the house, the SUV, the dog, the health club membership, and the 401k. In exchange, Mr. Stanley keeps his golf clubs and the weed whacker.
Done. We'll take it.
Not a good negotiator? You don't have to be to get a great deal at Liberty Hyundai. Lease a new 2017 Elantra SE for only $99 a month, or lease a new 2017 Sonata SE for just $119 a month. Only at Liberty Hyundai.
1877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate online at carsforkids.com. That's cars with a K. Pickup is quick and easy. You'll get a vacation voucher and maximum tax deduction.
1877 Cars for Kids. Donate.
Also accepting boats, motorcycles, RVs, and real estate donations.
T-minus 14 days until the national semifinals as Washington plays Alabama in the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl in Atlanta, followed by Ohio State and Clemson in the PlayStation Fiesta Bowl. The national semifinals December 31st on ESPN. And how about the news in the last 24 hours? Alabama hiring Steve Sarkisian as their offensive coordinator.
There's something about that USC coaching tree, huh?
Nick Saban first going Lane Kiffin, then Sarkisian. Interesting choices. We'll see how it works out. Of course, Kiffin working with them through the playoffs, even though he's become the head coach at Florida Atlantic. Back to action here at Mizzou Arena, and the Tigers down 3 to Eastern Illinois of the OVC. Stolen away. KJ Walton intercepted the pass through the paint. Willie Jackson hit a reverse layup, misses the three. Nico battling for the rebound, ends up with it. Shot blocked by Dama, but he fouled him.
How about KJ Walton again? The activity on the offensive glass, keeping the ball alive. He saved it right to Nico.
Walton is their leading scorer in this game with 9.
Offensive rebound. Part of it is just keep attacking and see if you can keep the ball alive.
The foul on Dama was number 3 on him. Nico had not played since late November because of an ankle injury. He's got 4 points, 5 boards today. Misses both free throws. Willie Jackson beat Eastern Illinois to the ball, but then knocked it out of bounds. So a 3-point lead still for the Panthers. Less than 10 on the shot clock. Johnson works off a screen. Steps back and fires. And the rebound by Barnett. Ahead to Walton. Walton going to take it himself, and foul's going to be called on Eastern Illinois. Tonight on SEC Network, college basketball doubleheader following us here in Missouri. It's Coach Mike Davis taking his Texas Southern team into Baton Rouge to take on LSU at the PMAC. And then after that, in Nashville, Chattanooga and Vanderbilt, both games streaming live on the ESPN app and watch ESPN. Mizzou has missed 7 free throw attempts today, while Eastern Illinois is 15 out of 17. Crossland the rebound.
Obviously costly in close games. Sometimes you can get away with it at home, rarely on the road.
Might not get away with it here today.
Nope.
Down 3, under 9 to play.
Geis doing a good job on Johnson, trying to keep him away from the basketball, make someone else run the offense.
Johnson comes out to get it. Less than 10 on the shot clock. McReynolds on the drive, got tied up by Nico. Jump ball, but it will be the Panthers' ball. Yeah, Nico, if anybody's been the star of the game for Missouri.
He has. He's had such a presence inside, and you see the size of that body, 6'10", 250 pounds. Been out the last 4 with the ankle injury. Somewhat limped around this afternoon, but defensively, he's had his hands on a lot of plays.
Barnett still yet to score from the floor. They're looking for him. Geis in a tie-up. He's got to get rid of the ball. And there's the 5-second violation. He didn't get rid of the ball. And an angry Kim Anderson lets him know about it. Says, get him out of the game. Terrence Phillips is coming in for it.
Well, all his teammates deserted. I mean, they all went backdoor cut. No one came to the basketball. Now, you always do. You can call timeout.
Turnover for the Tigers, and they're down 3.
That's 2 possessions in a row. They get nothing.
Missed free throws by Nico, and then the turnover on the 5-second violation by Geis. Although, you're right, John, not all on Geis. No one came to help him.
Yeah, I mean, they all ran away. Again, his first year here, you got to have sense, though, timeout when you have it.
Under 8 to play. Goodwin in traffic, lost it. Walton behind the back. Drives, lost it, out of bounds. It's off him. That's another turnover. 3 consecutive empty possessions by the Tigers. Missouri down 3 to Eastern Illinois on SEC Now tonight at 10:30 Eastern.
Well, we know now because everything's talked about selection and how you get in a tournament. And that win today for Arkansas really kind of gets them today in the NCAA tournament if they're solid in SEC play.
Barnett gets the cough up, takes it, and jams for his first basket as a Missouri Tiger.
Prepare for liftoff. Wow.
Left no doubt after missing 3 3-pointers. He hammered that one home. Tigers down 1. Crowd comes to its feet. 8 on the shot clock for the Panthers.
Defense has been terrific. Now you've got to find a way to stop in the last few seconds.
Tease on the miss, and a foul is going to be called on Missouri. Willie Jackson whistled for the foul.
Well, we wondered what Jordan Barnett could bring. We know he's athletic. Look at this. It changes the game of this, how this Missouri team can play when he gets going.
Now they just need more of that.
Well, that was a tough call. That was a tough call on Jackson.
Yeah, Willie Jackson with the foul. It's his second. 5 team fouls here on the Tigers in the second half.
5 straight possessions this Tiger team has had defensive stops. They've only been able to convert once on the offensive end. Every Panther, the shooters all have the step back move, and they'll use it.
Johnson has to have it at 5'7". Been over 3.5 minutes since the Panthers hit a bucket. But they're still leading by 1. Phillips weaves through the defense. Got fouled. And Johnson called for the foul. And that'll be number 3 on him. And the 7th team foul. So that's going to put the Tigers in the bonus for the rest of the way. So Terrence Phillips will step to the foul line. Phillips only 5 points today. 1 of 2 from the floor. 2 of 2 at the line, but he does have 7 assists in 20 minutes of play.
This ball game of the year was in their loss against Xavier, 21.
Yep.
Played extremely well in the second half of that game.
Averaging 7 points, 4 assists per game this season, shooting 75% at the foul line. He just tied the game at 55.
Missouri now 12 of 20 from the free throw line.
And the Tigers back on top. McReynolds missed, got his own miss to the corner in Johnston. McReynolds 3 again and canned it. 2-point lead, Eastern Illinois.
Not afraid, you can tell on the first jump shot. Missed it, was right on, a little long. Not afraid to take the second.
4 of 8 on their threes here in this half after being 1 for 15 in the first half. Barnett takes it inside. Jackson the offensive glass and the put in. Tie game at 58.
Scouting report on Willie Jackson. He's aggressive. He can attack the rim. He's an offensive rebounder. Must keep a body on it. And you saw his athletic ability right here. Watch him step in, go over the top, and then finish.
And John, when we talked to Kim Anderson today, and the topic of Willie Jackson comes up in shoot around, he says, we need Willie to get more offensive rebounds. And then repeated himself for emphasis. We need Willie Jackson to get more offensive rebounds. A big one right there and a chance to put the Tigers back on top, which he does.
Jackson, an open floor type play. Can attack. Solid defender. Now Barnett is the point on this little half-court trap.
McReynolds another 3. Air ball this time. And last touched on the shot, so it's going to be the Tigers' ball.
Missouri quickly went to a 2-3 zone that time. McReynolds looking for the easy opening. Challenge, air ball.
So Johnson will pick up Phillips in the backcourt and harass him down the floor. Knocked away by Muldoon. Willie Jackson goes by Muldoon. Defense contested there by Dama to pick up Jackson after he got by Muldoon. Good defense by the Panthers.
Good move by Jackson. Maybe one more half bounce so he's got a full step and gets easier to the rim instead of the hard floater.
Goodwin fouled by Frankie Hughes. Been a quiet game for Frankie Hughes, the Tigers' leading scorer. Only 3 points and now 3 personal fouls.
Well, the tough challenge when you're a freshman like Frankie Hughes, he has had to guard McReynolds, the leading scorer for Eastern Illinois, most of the ballgame. That's where his focus has been.
Muldoon, they drop off a double team. He wraps around the pass to Dama, who cannot hold on to it. Run a weave to get Barnett the ball. Backdoor cut, and the shot was blocked by Dama. Nicely executed on both sides offensively, and then Dama with the help defense to swat it out of bounds.
You know, Barnett's got just a good sleight of hand and a good feel, but Dama makes a terrific block from the weak side.
Dama, number 1 in the OVC, averaging 2.2 blocks per game. 10 on the shot clock for the Tigers. Remember, the clock did not reset with the block. And Phillips knows it and fires the 3 and misses. Oh. And Jackson with the offensive rebound. Did we say they want him to get offensive rebounds? Goodwin, oh, with 2 bigs in his face, cans the 3. Phillips on the drive, leaves it for Woods. Rolled off the rim, and Muldoon the rebound.
Well, missed opportunity that time from Russell Woods.
Johnston to the corner. Goodwin a three off the iron. Popped up. Phillips got it. Ahead to Barnett. To Frankie Hughes, who jams it home.
Unselfish play by Barnett. I tell you what, the competition right now is high level. These players are going at each other.
Fun basketball. Fired a lot of misses early in the ball game, but now they're going at it.
Matchup 2-3 zone defense.
McReynolds downtown. Nothing but net.
They have had answers each time Missouri has taken the lead.
1 point lead for the Panthers. 3 to play. Phillips, stutter step, spin move. Woods to the corner, and Barnett three. Air ball. Rebound, Dama. 1 point lead, Panthers in the ball. Ahead to Muldoon. Muldoon pump fake twice. Shot blocked by Willie Jackson. A couple of pump fakes allow Jackson to get down the floor, and he hammers it out of bounds. 2 minutes and 42 seconds to play at Mizzou Arena. Eastern Illinois trying to pull off the upset for the Tigers. Inbounding on the side for the Panthers. They lead by 1, 22 seconds on the shot clock, and now it's rolling again. Goodwin has tied his career high with 19 here today. He's on the dribble, tied up by Woods. Now with 8, they get it to Johnston. Drive and kick inside, deflected out of bounds off Dama's hands.
Tough pass to handle. Good move by Johnson, but tough pass to handle. I think he probably better to take the floater.
Yep. Hand off to Phillips. Pass batted up in the air. Puryear gets it. Hughes inside the arc. Air ball. And Woods. And who touched it last?
They're saying Missouri basketball, 8 seconds left on the shot clock.
Phillips to inbounds. 2:01 on the game clock. To Puryear. 5 on the clock. Over Crossland. Rolled off the rim. Battle for the rebound. Controlled by the Panthers. Their last 3 shots have been 3-pointers. Last 3 makes.
Tim Anderson's ball club back to man-to-man defensively. They had a couple of possessions in the zone.
4 3-pointers in a row for the Panthers. They're on top by 4.
Tell you what, Matt, they just, this Panther team, had confidence about it, right? When they take those shots, they're looking for those shots.
Well, you made the point, John, there in the first half. After they, I think they missed their first 13. They finally hit one. And James Spoonhour, their head coach, just had a big smile on his face because he knew they could hit threes.
And that relaxes shooters. And this team, this second half, what do we have at 50% from the three-point line?
Yeah, they are.
Second half?
They are 7 of 13. They're over 50%, actually 54%. 7 of 13 shooting the three here in the second half.
And the last 4 of them have gone down. But again, that's shooters shooting with confidence and trusting each other when they set those screens and free each other up.
Career high 22 points for Montell Goodwin. He's out of Cleveland, just like Willie Jackson and Frankie Hughes for Missouri. Inbounds Tigers. 20 on the shot clock. 1:25 to play on the game clock. Screen by Puryear. Phillips missed the floater. Crossland with the rebound. And now the Tigers in some trouble. 2-possession lead for Eastern Illinois.
What becomes difficult is Johnston with the ball is hard to get it away from him. See if Phillips can bother him enough.
Gets a screen from Dama. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Under a minute to play.
And he loves the matchup against the bigger Puryear.
Goes by Puryear and missed the banker. Willie Jackson the rebound. Still a chance for the Tigers as Phillips brings it up. Drives all the way on Dama and gets contact. Foul on Dama. That's number 4 on him. Puts Phillips at the line.
How about Phillips just attacking Dama, the big man? Thomas backpedaling at 6'9", and Phillips just went right into the body.
Well, interesting, on both ends of the floor, we had the small going against the big and taking advantage of the quickness, and the Tigers end up getting the better of it here if Phillips can knock down the free throws. 3-point game. They've hit their last 4 free throws after missing 8 of their first 19, and I jinxed them there as Crossland got the rebound. 3-point lead for the Panthers. Right clock down to 30 seconds to play in regulation.
Matt, as a defender on the ball, if you allow the dribbler to do what he wants to do, you're on defense. If you make him do some other things by attacking the bounce a little bit, then you speed up the play they want to run.
3 on the clock. Johnston in and out. Rebound Missouri. Van Leer. Shot clock off. Down to 10 seconds.
Gotta go.
Phillips with 8. Phillips running out of time with 5. 3-pointer on its way. The miss. Rebound by Crossland, and that will do it. The Panthers have upset the Tigers 67